Welcome back to another episode of Styles After Dark. It's Sophia, y'all. I'm back and I'm better. I don't know why, but it feels like I haven't uploaded a podcast in a while, but that's not true. I've actually been very much consistent posting when I say I will every other Wednesday. But I don't know, maybe I've just missed it. If you're new here, I'm Sophia. I'm a actual If you don't know me and you're new here, hello. I'm Sophia and I go by Sophia Styles. I would like to say that's my brand, and this is Sophia Styles After Dark. I am actually a full-time hairstylist, but I do this podcast on the side because I am super passionate about sharing my experiences and things I've gone through and just giving it to the world, to the internet, to whoever listens to this, and hopefully they can learn a thing or two, or you can learn a thing or two, maybe relate, maybe feel like you're not alone, because as always, this is a podcast where I want people to feel seen and heard. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. We are currently in a season of the topic of women in general. So today's episode, if you're wondering, is on friendships, women friendships, and attracting good, amazing female friendships. If you have not had the best experience with that, if you have trouble constantly getting into friendships that are drama filled, gossip filled, maybe in competition, that just seems to be the energy sometimes with female friendships. It's very common. I've dealt with it myself. And I kind of just want to talk about that today. So it's going to be all things being a good friend, finding good friends, attracting what you'd like. And yeah, so before we get started into this video, y'all already know it's time for the drink of the week. Last time I had recess, we're continuing the movement, and the mood today is lime citrus, sparkling water. I need to hydrate, and this only has 20 calories. I don't care. I don't care if it has 20 calories. I'm going to drink what I want. I'm going to open it and try it for you guys. I like that drink. It's giving like spa day, but I actually really like this brand because, no, this is not sponsored. This brand, like, it has vitamins in it. Potassium, vitamin B, and magnesium. So you should try it. Time to hop into the episode. Okay. At one point or another, I feel like we've all struggled with friendships, people coming in and out of our life, outgrowing people, and maybe friendships that ended really bad. If you haven't been through that, I've had my fair share. I myself have not always been the angel. I myself have had my own things of not showing up for a friend, a best friend, or friends. And I think something I really want to let you guys know, sometimes we're the bad guys. And I really want to highlight, you attract what you are. When you seem to have a lot of drama, when you seem to have really crappy friends like over and over again, if that's like a consistent pattern, it might be time to look inward. Is this my issue? And sometimes it's not. I'm not saying it's always our issue. We have to play a part in like looking around in the sea and being like, is this me or is this them? Or do I just have bad luck? I would say now, I feel like I have friends that I can say have my back. I have girlfriends who are positive. I have girlfriends who are not drama filled. I feel like somehow, even if you're not a drama filled person, there's always going to be someone trying to kill your vibe, right? I mean, that's just the world. But for the most part, we want to feel like the people around us are people that we can count on and people that uplift us and support us. Because if we only have girlfriends that feel like they're in competition with us, or if we have girlfriends that give us backhanded compliments or don't make us feel good about ourselves or always picking a fight with us, that's not fun. So if you find yourself having a negative friend, it is your job to set the boundaries. If you really care about that girlfriend in your life or best friend in your life and you want the relationship to last. You want the issue that is arising, whether that's her being a little negative, whether that's her, not supporting you, being as supportive, not having your back in situations, whatever the case might be. It is so important for you to feel safe to communicate that. Also, for that other friend to be able to be receptive of you communicating an issue, because it takes two. And friendships are very similar to romantic relationships. Every relationship in your life requires communication, whether that's a family member, your boyfriend. And I think sometimes with friends, we get scared too because it's like this like fun, lighthearted relationship where maybe sometimes it's not serious, and sometimes with like girlfriend friendships it can be more about shopping and having a coffee and just like it's just more fun, versus romantic relationships are more serious, it's more intimate. Sometimes when it comes to friendships, people get really defensive. I feel like we're learning it more now, that it's important and it should be a thing to communicate, or at least that's how it was like growing up and having friendships. It just felt like anytime I ever communicated something, it was never taken very well. And so it just gives you this trauma of thinking that it's going to ruin the friendship. But really, guys, if you can't tell someone what's on your mind, that's not a real friendship. And that friendship isn't going to withhold and last through more things in life. I feel like as I've made more new friends, adult friendships, it has been easier to communicate with people who I now feel confident that those people are meant to be in my life based off of things I've had to communicate to them, possibly. And it was taken well, and they were able to reflect and not get defensive and just be like, and just hear me out and be understanding. And it might be awkward for a little bit, but after like it goes away, and it actually makes the friendship stronger. And I feel like that's why I am where I am with my friendships today, because of course we've had little bickers. Of course we've had things that have upset us, or things that we've had to like lay a boundary down. Guys, the bond gets bonder. That doesn't make sense. The bond gets better. Not only can you guys have fun together, you guys now have a safe space to come to one another when the other one is upset, when your best friend, you hurt her feelings because maybe she's a little more sensitive. And I think we also have to understand that, like, not everyone is like us. Not every best friend that we have is going to be like our twin and we're going to be mitchy matchy. Like, yeah, I've had those kind of friendships where we're the exact same and it's like awesome. That's where we have to come in and have like compassion and awareness and understanding that people were raised differently, people have different personalities, and our friends are going to have different needs. One friend might not care to hang out with you all the time, which is so funny because my bestest friend Alexis literally could care less to see me, and we just see each other once in a while, and but like we FaceTime every day, and she's always there for me when I need her. She's like my therapist. Actually, all my friends are my therapist. And but she's just more like the chill friend, and it's nice to have a friend like that, a bestie like that. But then I have my friend Olivia, who is actually exactly like me. And if you guys are listening and have a friend like that where you guys feel the same way, you guys are both sensitive, or maybe you guys are both so chill to the point where you both never see each other and it's just so chill vibes, like so relaxed, amazing for you guys. And it's funny because me and my friend Olivia, we are both sensitive. We both battle with BPD, and I don't know if I've opened up much about that on my channel, on my podcast, but there has been a few times where we have not been able to communicate our feelings because our vibrations are just so high energy, and we just know when the other one is upset, and we both act the same way. It's kind of actually bad but funny and hilarious at the same time. If you know, you know, like having a friend who's exactly like you. If you have a friend who's stubborn and you're stubborn, that's gonna go against y'all. Who's gonna start the chat? It's not gonna be me because I'm the stubborn one. Also, as I'm getting older, that frontal lobe is developing, and all I want is peace with my friendships. I think we all want that. I think when I was younger, it was easier to live off of drama and feed off of fights, but it's also taken me to understand that this friend requires more sympathy, requires more empathy. This friend requires isn't like my other friend who's just chilled. And that's completely up to you and also myself if I can put up with that. If I value that friendship enough to give it what it needs. And I think we all again, like relationships, some people don't work out, some people aren't meant to be, some people don't work well together, and you have to end the relationship because you guys just can't give each other what you guys need. But also take into consideration that whatever you want from a friend, are you providing that as well? Because if you want a friend who's going to show up for you and like make an amazing birthday for you, are you doing that for them? When you start treating people the way you want to be treated, they will start returning it the same way. They will start giving you the same energy back. You should be giving without the intent of receiving. But it's also like if you want something so bad from someone, but you're not even doing it for them, like what makes you think that you're deserving of it? Treat people how you want to be treated at the end of the day. I think there was a point where I was the friend who was draining, I was the friend who was negative, and honestly, it was very like victim me. Again, mind you, I was like 18, 21 years old. It's like this weird stage between graduating high school, like losing friends through that within college. So everyone's like still talking to each other, but like not slowly drifting apart. I wish I would have told my younger self when I had like all these friends still from high school and they would do something that would hurt me, like maybe be friends with someone that I didn't like, maybe be friends with someone who did something really rude and did something really messed up to me. And then they're like hanging out with that person. And I'm sorry, but that is so fake. Like, if you have a friend who's hanging out with or being friends with someone who talks crap about you, who has nothing at all good to say about you, that is a friend who is never going to have your back. People at that age, they're not mature. They don't really they aren't taking things serious. People want everyone to like them at that age. You want everyone to like be chill with each other, so cool with each other. When you're in a more mature mindset and want more meaningful friendships, like you don't want someone who's going to be hanging out with another girl or guy who's done you wrong. That makes sense, but to some people it just doesn't click. And I feel like I wish I would have had stronger boundaries back then. So if you're dealing with this, if you're in college, if you're someone who has a friend who always downplays this seriousness, or like you're the crazy friend, and given I'm Latina, I felt like I was always seen as the crazy friend. I convinced myself at some point that I was just dramatic and that what I felt must have been because I'm just crazy. I take things so serious and da 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 da. Da. And if I just would have known myself a little better or known what I know now, I would have stuck to it and been like, okay, cute, bye. Like, I don't need this friendship. I don't need this bestie. I don't need this friend group. When you keep those people in your life, I feel like you just fall into this negative cloud almost of people around you where you almost feel empty. Maybe I'm crazy, but looking back, I felt like at that point, it didn't matter anymore what friends brought to the table because I had now had a low standard for friendships. And I guess I just started to tell myself that things weren't that serious. And so then that made me become a bad friend. And I'm not saying that someone made me be that way. There was a season where I just attracted meaningless friendships because nothing mattered anymore. I lost my boundary. Stick to what you feel is right. And there might be, I always say this, there might be a season of loneliness for a little bit, but that's okay because being alone and sticking to what you believe and what you feel and know what in your heart is right and what you deserve is better than having a bunch of fake people around you. It's better than to feel disrespected. Sometimes, like, you see all these people with like a bunch of friends and a lot of like friend groups and a big friend group. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have been friends with different friend groups. I have been friends with large friend groups. No one ever has each other's backs. No one ever doesn't not talk crap about the other person. There's always one secret being kept from the other person because this person is friends with that person in the friend group. And then it all just blows up. And I'm sorry, but I'm good over here. And you're saving yourself the drama, the heartache, the fakeness. I wish there was a podcast that episode that I could have listened to validate my emotions because my young 19, 21, 22, 23-year-old self was not able to validate those emotions myself. As much as it seems so fun to like watch people have all these friends, there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors. All the friends I now have in my circle, I don't need to worry about if they're doing sketchy stuff behind my back. I don't need to worry if I trust them or not and what they're saying. Like, I know that they have my back. I know I can count on them. I know that they support me. I know that they have nothing but good things to say on my name. And it might be a smaller circle. I might not have plans every weekend. They might be busy, but I don't ever have to think twice if I can count on them. And that is priceless. Honestly, you only really need one good friend. You only need one good friend that you can talk the chisme with. You only need one good friend that you can cry with, who's going to be there with you when you're going through a heartbreak. You need one to be on FaceTime with while you're folding your laundry. I don't know. I don't know what it is about. I was just telling my other friend this. Like, I don't know what it is about being on FaceTime, but doing chores while on a FaceTime, not talking with a friend, makes it so much easier. Like, why? Why is it like that? That's so weird. It's almost like a codependent thing. Wait for that good friend to come into your life. Pray about it. Work on yourself. Know who you are, but know that whatever's coming is better. It always is with anything in life, honey. You're always going to attract bigger and better when you let go of what's not for you. And you know it in your heart, you know it in that gut. Write down the qualities that you want in a friend, but also be those qualities as well. And if there is anything I want in return, I typically show up for them in that way. And it's also something I have to keep in check with myself is there are times that I can be selfish and I'm aware of that. And my friends show up for me a lot, and there are times I need to check myself and be like, okay, don't be lazy, Miss Girl. I'm not afraid to let y'all know that I am not perfect, okay? I believe now that I communicate when something bothers me. I believe that when someone communicates something to me, I am receptive, or I try to be my to my best of my ability. Like I've said multiple times in this video, you attract what you are. So be the friend that you want in a friend. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this helped with anything that you might have been thinking about or anything friendship related that you might have been struggling with. Thank you guys always for supporting, listening, tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. The next episode will probably be having a special guest, and it will also be another related woman topic. So I'm excited for the next podcast episode because it's going to be my first guest in a long time. And it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned. I upload videos every other Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe and follow this podcast on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. If you want to follow my social medias, I will have it linked down below. Remember to be kind, and I love you guys so much. Bye. Mwah.